Hi, it's Cory, and today you're going to learn how to play an easy version of When You Wish Upon a Star from Disney's Pinocchio. Before we get started, this is just a reminder that if you like the content you see on this channel, make sure to give this video a like and also consider subscribing. I have new ukulele videos every single week and tons of tips and tricks to help you be the best ukulele player you can be. With that though, let's get into the tutorial. The first thing you always want to make sure to do is have your ukulele in tune. So that's going to be a G on the 4th string, a C on the 3rd string, an E on the 2nd string, and an A on the 1st string. So the first chord we're looking at is going to be the A7 chord. This is a 1-finger chord with just your first finger placing it on the 1st fret 3rd string. Our next chord is the A minor chord, which is also a 1-finger chord, but a different finger. It's going to be your 2nd finger placed on the 4th string 2nd fret. You're also going to need to know a C major chord, which is also a 1-finger chord, but it's with your 3rd finger. You're going to be placing that on the 1st string 3rd fret. We also have a D7, and this is going to be the easy D7, or sometimes known as the Hawaiian D7. What you're going to do is take your first finger, place it on the 4th string 2nd fret, and then your 2nd finger is going on the 2nd fret 2nd string. We also have a D minor chord. That's going to be your first finger placed on the 1st fret 2nd string. Your 2nd finger is going on the 2nd fret 4th string, and then your 3rd finger is on the 2nd fret 3rd string. We then have the F major chord. That's going to be your first finger placed on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then your 2nd finger is going on the 4th string 2nd fret. And just as a little note, there's a lot of chords in this song that use this placement of your first finger on the 1st fret 2nd string. So be aware of when those different transitions are happening, because more often than not, you're not going to need to pick up your first finger all the time to make those different transitions. A couple in particular to take a look out for would be anything revolving around the F minor to a D minor or D minor to an F. That would be a case, same thing that if you're doing an F to a G7 or a D minor to a G7, again, you don't have to lift up that first finger for those chords. And then finally, we have the G major chord, and that's going to be your first finger placed on the 1st fret 2nd string, your 2nd finger placed on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger placed on the 1st string 2nd fret. You want to make sure you're very comfortable with these different chords before moving on to the picking pattern that we're going to be using for this song. I really recommend that just because you can be familiar enough that you can play them, but you shouldn't need to look at the chord diagram every single time you are changing chords. It's not going to set you up for success. So take some time, look through the chords, make sure you are familiar enough with them that you can play through the entire song without having to look directly at the chord. I will show you a couple ways that if you're really struggling with the picking pattern, you can change to an easy strumming pattern to make it a little easier for you while you're getting familiar with those different chords and the transitions between them. The main picking pattern we're going to be using though for this song is actually just going to be taking place on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. This is one of the easiest picking patterns I recommend because it's very repetitive and often is divided really nicely between the chords. We're going to pick with our thumb on the 3rd string, then our first finger on the 2nd string, and our 2nd finger on the 1st string. So you're going to assign those fingers to those individual strings. You're never going to use any other fingers to pick those strings other than the ones you assign. So again, that's thumb to the 3rd, first finger to the 2nd string, and then your 2nd finger to the 1st string. We're then going to pick in the pattern of, and I'm going to say the string name here, string 3, string 2, string 1, string 2. And then by the time you're back to the 3rd string, more often than not, you're moving on to the next chord. So for instance, the intro where we move from an F to a G7 chord, again, notice my finger's not lifting up here. So I'm just moving F to the G7 and I'm pivoting on my first finger. So playing that intro, it would be 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, and then I'd go into the main melody of When You Wish upon a star. And you can then see you're now into the main melody. If the picking pattern's a little bit too difficult for you and you're looking for something easier, you could always walk it back to then just playing on the chord change. And that's actually what I recommend doing first, especially if you're not 100% familiar with the chords. It's an unrealistic expectation that you will be able to watch a single tutorial and then be able to play it perfectly. You need practice time. If you are at a level where you can look at this and kind of sight read it, then maybe you don't need as much practice time. But if it's taking you longer, that's okay. So sort of the progression is, if you'd like to start at the easiest mode, it would be playing on those chord changes. If that's too easy for you, you could play on the beat, which would be more often than not, you're going to be strumming 2 times per chord, unless it's those chords that you would have multiple picking patterns on, then you would be strumming for longer. And then if you can play it on the beat, then try doing it on the picking pattern, but slowly. So you don't have to go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, whatever. You can go a lot slower. When you wish upon a star. That would be a slower version than what you're playing in the actual tempo for the song, which would be when you wish upon a star, which is a lot faster. So I'm going to show you what the opening line with the introduction and that opening line sounds like with each of those different demos, starting with playing on the chord change, just playing on the beat, then into the picking pattern, just so you can kind of see what your progression of practice is going to look like. When you wish upon a star, when you wish upon a star, when you wish upon a star. So you can see how you can build up over time and take what you can play now and then have something to work up to. The other thing I just want to mention is that at the very, very end of the song, when we have your dreams come true, you're going to pick that final C chord, which you're going to be on. So you'll have dreams come true. And then you're going to slow down and have a final strum there. So I'm going to play that one more time just so you can kind of see. You'll have dream come true, and then strum. So it'll be a really nice way to end out the song. But with all of that though, you have all of the pieces that you need to be able to play this song. The parts that you would need to do is just putting them all together. I'm going to give you a play along here now just so you can see what all those different parts played together look like. I would recommend watching the play along first and then going back to whatever section you feel like you need most help for. Also, just as a note, you can, in the settings option of the YouTube video, you can always slow down the play along to put it at a tempo that works best for you, just so you know, for practice purposes. But otherwise, let's give it a play along. 1, 2, here we go. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do, fate is kind. She brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing. Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers true. I said the wrong words. but I think you guys got it. I hope you guys found this tutorial for When You Wish Upon a Star helpful. In the lead sheet that's available on my Patreon, you will see that I have an optional C diminished 7 in there. It adds the needed color in some of the lines, but it is a more difficult chord, so because this was an easy version, I decided to just extend the C major chord there. But if you're wanting that extra difficulty, you could play it. And again, that version is available in the lead sheet on my Patreon. But I hope you guys have a great day. If there are other Disney songs that you would love to see made into tutorials or play-alongs, first things first, check out my Disney playlist. I have a ton of songs there, but if you don't see it there or anywhere else on my channel, make sure to comment down below with what Disney songs you would love to see made into tutorials. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye! Sweet fulfillment of their secret longing, like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through.